Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's 11 a.m., and that means it's time for the FIU Music Hour here on WDNA 88.9 FM, where we present live weekly performances in the WDNA Jazz Gallery, and we feature students, faculty, and alumni from Florida International University's School of Music. I am your host today and new FIU faculty, Dr. Russ Spiegel, and along with our producer, Karen Veloz, we'd like to welcome you to the first performance of the semester. Whether you're listening to us in your car or live on wdna.org/FIU, we are delighted to have you with us today. And today, we are joined by brand new FIU faculty of jazz piano, Mike Eckroth, along with FIU's own jazz coordinator, Jamie Ousley, on bass. Mike has performed extensively with musicians such as jazz great John Scofield, bassist Ron McClure, former Bill Evans drummer Elliot Zigman, and reed player Paul McCandless from the group Oregon, among others. Equally at home in jazz and Latin American music forms, Mike received a Grammy nomination for his work on the 2018 Cuban music album Orquesta Acocan, which received a lot of attention both nationally and internationally. Mike earned his PhD from New York University before coming to FIU. He was also a professor of music at Dartmouth College. This duo will be presenting a selection of standards and original music. And the first piece we're going to hear is the Burton Lane standard, It's Too Late Now.
Say something in between songs?
You can if you like.
Okay, so that was too late now. I'm really happy to be here with you, Russ, and with Jamie. The next thing we're going to do is The Masquerade is Over. The Masquerade is Over.
You're listening to the FIU Music Hour with FIU new faculty, Mike Eckroth, accompanied by Jamie Ousley. And Mike, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to Miami.
Thanks.
How have you been settling in so far?
Well, the coffee's helping, and yeah, it's been really nice. I feel like I'm getting my feet on the ground now after being here for about 3 weeks.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're an especially accomplished pianist and musician, and I know you come from a musical family. Could you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, my parents were both musicians, although they kind of stopped with the professional music after a while. My dad was a band director, and he played around, and my parents both went to college for music and so forth and so on. They didn't continue it as professionals, but we all had music training, as kids. We all had piano lessons, and me and my younger sister Rachel had to, fight for the piano. So she's continued. So my sister Rachel is a pretty well-known musician, and she's out there doing a lot of amazing stuff. She's played with Chris Bodie and the pop artist St. Vincent, and as well as a lot of jazz musicians. And she was in New York simultaneously with me too for many years.
She actually played in my big band for.
She played in your big band, as did I.
As you did as well.
As did I. Right. So yeah. Actually, you were one of the first people I met in New York when I went to see one of Rachel's gigs. I don't know, 15 years ago.
Wow.
Like that. Right. That's right. So it's a musical family. My uncles and all my dad's family were musicians. My grandfather was an accordion player. He had a little small dance band or something up in North Dakota. So my family's from the Dakotas.
But you grew up in Arizona, right?
That's right. I grew up in Arizona. So at a certain point in the 80s, my parents moved down to Phoenix, and I became a Phoenix native after that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you are a new faculty at FIU,
That's right.
the School of Music.
That's right.
And how do you see yourself fitting in there and in the Miami music scene?
Well, I see myself fitting in very well. I mean, I'm having a great time with Jamie and our other full-time faculty. Gary Campbell is a great musician and a great educator.
Right.
Both these guys have bona fides up the wazoo. And there's a lot of amazing adjunct faculty as well. And I'm just, some of the people I know already, and I'm just getting to know more. I see myself, fitting in well and just enjoying what's there,
Speaking
at the FIU area. Yep.
Yeah, speaking of which, you have some stuff on the horizon already.
That's right. I'm already doing some things in town. There's going to be a concert at the Bass Museum this Sunday, and I just wrote down the time. I believe it's at 5 p.m. Okay. A friend of mine, Fernando Ulibarri, connected me with a concert. So I'm just learning about it right now. And I can't give you more details than that, but there's going to be a concert in Miami this Sunday in South Beach.
Okay.
I continue to go back and forth from New York. I have a concert, or I'm playing at the Smalls Club in NYC on Friday with Ron McClure's band. And then I have an album of my own that's going to be released on the Truth and Revolution album record label. That's coming out in October, and that's a Latin jazz album. And then, there's more stuff on the horizon. There's always stuff. So I'm kind of just overflowing with new projects and things that are on the horizon.
As you should be. And you're balancing this all with a rather large family, at least in terms of musicians, because you have the family, you have the teaching, you have the gigging. How do you balance all that?
Very carefully. It's definitely a challenge to do the many pronged approach. But I get a lot out of it, and I leave a lot of time, for me to spend with my family. And part of the move to Miami was to secure that as well. I won't be probably, I won't be maybe, I don't know. Right now I'm traveling a lot, so who knows? But it is, I keep the family thing first. That's my priority. And then right after that is the music. So, and that's a big very close second.
Right.
Yeah, I have 3 children. My daughter Sophia is maybe listening to this program right now. Hi, Sophia. She puts this radio station on and listens to it now. And my wife Annabelle is home listening to it probably. Yeah, so it's a balance. It's a balancing act. And you know, I'm right now learning how to maybe say no to a little bit more stuff, and just so that I can keep the 4 or 5 things you mentioned going simultaneously: touring, recording, teaching is going to be, you know, a big part of what I'm doing now. You know, I'm 3 weeks in at FIU. That's a big plus and a big not a change, but it's a you know, it's a welcome addition to what I'm doing in my career. And then the music and the recording. So yeah, I you know, I get a few hours of sleep in there every once in a while, and it all works out.
Now, if somebody came up to you, one of our young Miami musicians, and said, you know, what advice could you offer them right off the bat?
Well, I would tell any young musician, play as much as you possibly can. So whatever setting you can find to play. I was talking to Jamie about this earlier. One of my most formative jobs ever was a piano-bass duo gig that was owned by my friend, the bassist, great bassist Maury Loudon, that we had together for years. And that setting where you can just play tunes, basically what we're doing right now. This is you know, extension of that. When you have a setting where you can really just play tunes and get through as much music as you possibly can, that's the best setting for you as a young musician. You know, you can learn repertoire and you can just work on your stuff. Like, is my time good? Do I know enough tunes? Can I play things in different keys? Can I play different styles? If you have a setting like that where you're not just trying to manage somebody's original music, or maybe, you know, you're not stuck with the confines of that, or just, you know, running to the gig. If you have something that's really regular, a setting, maybe a gig, or just a session, just something that you do all the time, you know, where you go and play with the same guys and get to know each other and get through as much music as you possibly can. That's always the best thing you can do. So, I mean, I'm just learning right now what the venue would be for that here. But we can all look for that, you know, more playing opportunities. I think just getting on the instrument is the main thing.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to have you play one more song before we take a short break. And this is an original composition of yours, correct?
That's right. This is called Lost in Brazil. I recorded this with a collective group I'm putting together with the saxophonist Dan Pratt. Mm-hmm. We did this a few weeks ago, or a few months ago in the studio, and I wanted to bring it back and play it a little bit more. Jamie and I both love Brazilian music, and this is, the theme is Brazil. It's called Lost in Brazil. It's about a time I got lost in Brazil, obviously. But it's a bossa nova, and, you know, it's trying to do my own thing within the confines of that.
Fantastic.
Tune. Yeah, really.
So you're listening to the FIU Music Hour with new jazz faculty Mike Eckroth and Jamie Ousley on bass. FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM with the wonderful new FIU Jazz Piano faculty, Mike Eckroth, and accompanied by FIU Jazz Coordinator and bassist Jamie Ousley. We'll be right back after these messages.
Miami-Dade County, under the leadership
We
of Mayor
are
Daniela
back with
Levine
the
Cava,
FIU
is moving
Music Hour
swiftly to
with new
expand
piano jazz
COVID-19
faculty
vaccine
Mike
distribution.
Eckroth and bassist Jamie Ousley here on WDNA 88.9 FM. And Mike and Jamie are going to play the Robin Ranger standard, If I Should Lose You.
Should we do one more?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You've been listening to the FIU Music Hour on WDNA 88.9 FM with FIU faculty Mike Eckroth and Jamie Ousley. I've been your faculty host, Russ Spiegel, and along with our producer, Karen Velaz, we'd like to thank our production crew and the staff of WDNA 88.9 for today's broadcast. If you would like more information on all our programs, make sure to call 305-384-2896 or simply like our Facebook page to stay up to date with all our upcoming performances. Thank you so much for joining us today for the FIU Music Hour. And please join the FIU Music Hour for some more great music every Tuesday, 11 a.m. to noon. And we have one more piece. Mike, what are we going to be listening to?
A blues.
Okay, thank you. You did it. We all did it.